Alright guys, admittedly this is my third time trying to make this video because I keep running out of room. So I'm going to try to make it really fast and not talk as much as what I had hoped for. But anyway, hello, you know me as Vanessa, better known as GreatLove91 on Twitter. Feel free to follow me and I will give you a follow back. Also, be sure to be following DTRT Wrestling for all your latest wrestling and now MMA news, rumors, and opinions. That would be really great. So, okay, on with the show. I am here to cover Season 2 premiere of Total Divas. Obviously, it starts off with the recap of Season 1, and then it goes to the girls being in a creative meeting. You know, Natty's there, the Bella Twins are there, the Funkadactyls are there, Summer Rae's there, Eva Marie's there. Yes, you heard me right. Summer Rae, she's the new cast member. They start talking about how they're getting ready for Tribute to the Troops, and then they point out how Summer Rae's been doing really well, and how they want her to travel on the main roster and possibly team up with Eva Marie, because Eva Marie's going to be a traveling partner, and maybe one day, hopefully, they can team up against the Bellas or the Funkadactyls. And then Natalya makes this comment about to the Bellas, like, oh, well, at least you guys have the wrestling moves to do that, or, like, the wrestling ability to do that. In a way, I kind of saw that as Natty taking a stab at Summer and Eva, since they're kind of still green in the ring. From the very beginning of the show, you could tell there's, like, this really, like, intense tension between the girls and the new cast member, Summer Rae, which I don't really get, because I like Summer. She's pretty cool. I don't have anything against her. So there's that. You know, and then there's the situation with Nikki and John. They're separated because Nikki wants to have a family, wants to have kids, wants to get married. John doesn't, so they're taking a break. And there's this scene where they're at an autograph signing, and it's really sad because this kid comes up to Nikki and at the signing and is like, oh, where's John or whatever, and she's like, I don't know, maybe you should go find him. And then Bree's like, well, maybe he's hiding from Nikki. And it's just really awkward because even Nikki mentions, like, you know, work is where you go to get away from what you're feeling with your significant other or with your separation, but since they work in the same place, that's kind of hard to do. You know, and that's throughout the whole entire show. You know, the Bella Twins celebrated their dirty 30, the 30th birthday, and, you know, John texts Bree instead of Nikki and is like, oh, happy birthday, Bree. Tell Nicole I hope she's having a wonderful night. Happy birthday. Sorry I couldn't be there. And even Nikki's like, well, why couldn't you just text me? He never texts you. There's this scene where, you know, Bree and Brian are going to their wedding registry, you know, the store, to get their things for their wedding, and they invited Nikki, and Nikki feels really awkward because she's like, I feel sad because this is something that I'll never get, so she leaves. And then there's a scene where Nikki has to apologize to Bree, and it's like, you know, I feel like the timing is really weird because I'm not saying it's your fault, but it's just like you're so happy and you're getting married, and it's like it's what I want, but I can't have it. And it's so confusing because I feel that John is like my soulmate, but he doesn't want to get married and he doesn't want what I want. And, you know, it was just a really emotional moment. And even like me, like I'm not a fan of the Bella Twins, but I felt really bad for Nikki. Being a girl myself, I understand us girls, when we're in a relationship, how we feel. And we want what we want sometimes, and sometimes it's just not what our partner wants. And it's just like, man, this sucks because I feel like I'm supposed to be with you, but you're not meeting me halfway, I guess you could say. There's that storyline, and then there's a storyline between, well, not between, but with even, oh, and then also I guess I should allude to the fact that at the party, the Bella Twins' birthday party, they went clubbing, and Natty was a little drunk, and Natty was dancing all over Vinny, which is Ariane's boyfriend, obviously, and Ariane had to confront her, and it was just really awkward. It's really awkward to see Natty drunk all the time, I may add, but it was pretty funny, especially when the security guard came out and was like, if you guys don't stop, we're going to call the police and you're going to go to jail, which I didn't get because it's not like the argument was that heated enough to call the cops, but whatever. And there's that storyline, and of course, the main storyline for this episode, I feel like it was the episode of Eva Marie eloping with her fiance, Jonathan, I guess you could say, and having to tell her parents, and of course, like, she tells them, and it doesn't really go over that well. They get mad at her, obviously. Of course, that's to be, understood, because of course you want to be there for your daughter's big day. It only happens once, and her brothers are mad about it. But at the same time, I understand why she did it, because when she told them that they were dating, they weren't happy about it either. When she told them they were engaged, they weren't happy about it either. Of course, she did everything backwards because she didn't tell them about it at all either. So that's kind of her fault as well. But at the same time, it's like, well, if they weren't happy about the engagement, of course they're not going to be happy about the wedding. So we're obviously never going to get their blessing. So we might as well just elope anyway. And the way that I see it is, Eva Marie is a grown-ass woman. She should be able to do what she should do. And, I mean, I know parents are your number one in priority. It should be. But at the same time, it's like, get over it, you know? I mean, like, it's kind of in a weird way, like, the way that I would, you know, kind of relate to the situation is obviously I'm a lesbian. And when you first tell your family that you're gay, obviously they're not going to approve, and they're not going to be happy because that's not what they want for you. But you are who you are, and it's your life, and if they love you and if they really are your family, they'll get over it eventually. And that's kind of how I feel that Eva Marie's parents will be eventually. And then I guess I could close off with this. There's a scene where John texts Nikki and says, "Can we meet up? Can we talk?" And Nikki goes to meet John. And because I guess he flew all the way to San Diego from Florida, I believe it was, or something like that. Or maybe it wasn't even Florida. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was Florida, though, because that's where he lives. He took a jet or whatever, and Bree's like, well, maybe he's going to propose. And, like, they meet up, and then it says, to be continued, and that's all there is.